Quick disclaimer before I start my speech. I am currently sitting because I had ankle surgery and I am currently completely non-weight bearing on that ankle. So I am going to be sitting for the remainder of this video. The human body can regenerate the liver, skin, parts of the intestinal lining, and fingertips. But what if it could do even more? This topic should be important to you because age-related and degenerative diseases can affect anyone, and those not affected may be affected by watching a loved one go through it. The axolotl is a unique species with a multitude of scientific applications. To further understand this, we'll dive into the different research contributions provided by axolotls in areas such as development, regeneration, and finally, aging. To begin, the axolotl has supplied researchers with a bounty of information related to development. Axolotls remain in what is considered a larval stage because they don't go through a metamorphosis like most amphibians do. As you can see in this picture here, it has kept its gills, its tail, and it stays underwater for the entirety of its life. Now, scientists want to understand why that happens because most amphibians leave that larval stage, kind of like frogs, going from tadpoles to growing legs and being on land. They usually leave that larval stage and then they're aquatic and terrestrial amphibians. Axolotls don't do that. In an article published April 12, 2019 in Frontiers in Endocrinology, Crowner et al. States endocrinology studies have established the importance of thyroid hormone in regulating amphibian metamorphosis. They've discovered that axolotls don't produce enough thyroid hormone to be able to go through that metamorphosis. That thyroid hormone, like what we have, would allow them to remove their tails, maybe keep them while they're on land, but more than likely remove the tails. They would have all their legs, they would lose their gills, and then they would be able to remain on land. Axolotls don't do that. They have what's considered a form of hypothyroidism. Now, this means that they stay in this larval stage, unlike most amphibians, and it's not, other than the thyroid hormone, super well known. So, there is still room for developmental research with axolotls and understanding the genetics of why they don't go through that metamorphosis and stay in a larval stage. Now, there's a lot more technology that is allowing researchers to be able to study axolotls and the genetics behind it and do genome mapping, which could help further understand the development of axolotls and why they don't go through any sort of metamorphosis. Next, the axolotl has provided researchers with knowledge in relation to the regeneration of body parts, something a lot of people are interested in. According to the November 28, 2019 article by Vieira et al., published in the Journal of Gerontology, axolotls can regenerate multiple body parts, including its limbs and internal organs, such as its heart, brain, and its lungs. Humans, as mentioned before, can only regenerate some parts of their bodies, fingertips or fingerprints, their skin when they get an injury, um, their parts of their liver. They're able to regenerate these things. Axolotls take that one step further and are able to regenerate almost any part of their body outside of an embryonic stage when they're just teeny tiny little babies. So, humans, being able to regenerate things that are typical of every species, gradually lose that ability to regenerate as they age. Axolotls are able to continue to regenerate body parts, especially their limbs, which is the most commonly studied by researchers when studying regeneration. Now, if we can begin to understand even the basics of regeneration in axolotls, that research could be used to develop medicines or therapies that would work for limb regeneration, or if we don't want to go that far, organ regeneration and tissue regeneration for humans. Lastly, the axolotl has offered researchers the ability to further understand aging and age-related diseases, something that affects almost anybody, whether it's personally or a family member or a loved one. So all creatures have an epigenetic clock. Basically, this means that their cells, their DNA, different things that can be studied, it tells the lifespan or projected lifespan of that creature. But as reported in the National Geographic article by Sarah Phillip, published October 18th of 2024, axolotls stop the epigenetic clock around the age of just 4 years old. So this means that at the age of 4, their cells and the things that we're able to study, they stop showing aging like our cells would. Humans, again, as they age, they hold on to certain cells called zombie cells that increase risks of cancer and other age-related diseases. This is because those cells just sit in the body, they cause inflammation, they cause buildups, and that's what causes, things like cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, things like that. Again, according to the National Geographic article by Sarah Phillip, published October 18th of 2024, axolotls have fewer of these zombie cells that cause age-related diseases. So they're not affected by things like humans are that would result in cancer formation and things like that. So studying these axolotls could provide the information to help with cancer treatments, to help stop cancer before it even grows, things like that. In conclusion, the axolotl is a unique species with a multitude of scientific applications. To understand these applications, we went over research in development, regeneration, and aging that have been contributed to by axolotls. Axolotls aren't just adorable aquatic creatures to keep in tanks on your dresser at home, but they're also viable research subjects that could unlock the human ability to regenerate a multitude of body parts and even slow the aging process.